Welcome, and thank you for taking the time to listen to our fourth webinar regarding the amended fit and proper requirements. Today we are discussing the competence requirements and continuous professional development, which were introduced by the amended Fit and Proper Board Notice 194 of 2017. The fit and proper competency topics relating to competence requirements are general requirements, minimum experience, minimum qualifications, regulatory examinations, class of business training, product-specific training, and continuous professional development. Competence Topic 1. General requirements. An FSP must establish policies, internal systems, control and monitoring systems to ensure that its key individuals and representatives meet the various competence requirements and discharge their respective responsibilities. They must also demonstrate and record that it has evaluated its key individuals and representatives' competence and take appropriate action to make sure that they remain competent when performing their activities. An FSP must also maintain an updated competence register. They must also notify the FSCA of the information on the register and to inform the registrar when it becomes aware that a KI no longer complies with any requirements set out in the determination. The general requirement is that an FSP, key individual and representative must have adequate, appropriate, and relevant skills, knowledge, and expertise in respect of the financial services, financial products, and functions it performs. The second topic is experience. Minimum experience requirements apply to all FSPs, key individuals, and representatives. Important changes to note in this section are that the previous standard allowed a general management or oversight for key individuals to be approved by the registrar. Key individuals are now required to demonstrate the experience gained through the management or oversight of the rendering of a particular financial service in respect of a particular category of FSP. The minimum experience for key individuals, as indicated on the table, is in general 1 year experience in management or oversight of the rendering of a particular financial service in respect of a particular category of FSP. The minimum experience for a representative ranges from between 6 months to 3 years, depending on the services rendered and the category FSP appointed. A provision regarding the lapsing of experience is also included in this section and confirms the so-called 5-year rule. There must be no break in service of more than 5 years between the individual's last working experience and the date of the assessment of that individual's experience. The experience gained by a key individual, FSP, or representative, excluding a representative working under supervision, who was authorized or appointed prior to the commencement of the 2017 determination, is deemed to meet the minimum experience requirements for that particular financial product and particular financial service. The experience gained by a key individual who was approved prior to 1 April 2018 to manage or oversee the rendering of a particular financial service in respect of a particular financial product in relation to a specific category of FSP is deemed to meet the minimum experience requirements. In practical terms, all representatives who have completed their mandatory supervision period relating to the experience component for advice and/or intermediary services of, for example, Category 1 Long-Term Insurance Subcategory C, will be deemed to meet the minimum experience requirements for that product. The same holds true for key individuals. If the key individual was approved by the FSCA, that's the then FSB, before 1 April 2018, for example, for Category 2 Long-Term Insurance Subcategory C in discretionary services, they will be deemed to meet the minimum experience requirements. Qualifications. The minimum qualification requirements apply to all FSPs, key individuals, and representatives except for the following. A Category 1 FSP, its key individuals and representatives that only render financial services, manage or oversee financial services in respect of long-term insurance subcategory A and or friendly society benefits, and representatives of Category 1 FSPs appointed only for execution of sales provided that certain conditions are met. Previously, the entry-level requirements for Category 1 representatives rendering financial services in respect of long-term insurance subcategory A and or friendly society benefits was either ABET Level 1 or the proven ability to read, write, and calculate to the satisfaction of the provider. The general requirements are that an FSP, key individual, and representatives are required to have a qualification that is recognized by the registrar. These pre-approved qualifications are routinely updated and published by the registrar. Individuals approved prior to 1 January 2010 are deemed to have met the qualification requirement, but only in respect of the areas for which they were authorized or appointed to perform financial services. Regulatory exams. The regulatory examination requirements apply to all FSPs, key individuals, and representatives. The exceptions are a Category 1 FSP, its key individuals and representatives that only render financial services, manage or oversee financial services in respect of long-term insurance subcategory A and or friendly society benefits, and representatives of Category 1 FSPs appointed only for execution of sales, provided that certain conditions are met. The board notice has included a table that sets out which exams must be written for each category of FSP. Key individuals are required to write both the RE5 and RE1 exams. The fifth topic is Class of Business Training. Class of Business Training is the first of two new competence topics introduced by the new board notice. The meaning of Class of Business. The product categories that an FSP can be licensed for have been divided into 9 classes, namely short-term insurance personal lines, short-term insurance commercial lines, long-term insurance, pension fund benefits, short-term and long-term deposits, structured deposits, investments, forex investments, and health services benefits. Class of Business Training is on various classes of business. It is governed by Section 29 and its effective date is 1 August 2018. Section 29.2 stipulates that key individuals and representatives must complete the Class of Business Training concerning the class of businesses they manage, oversee, or render financial services to. Further, the successful completion of the training is required prior to a key individual's or representative's appointment to managing, overseeing, or in the rendering of services in that particular class of business. An FSP, key individual, other than a key individual of a Category 1 FSP or representative authorized, approved, or appointed prior to 1 April 2018, is deemed to have completed Class of Business Training in respect of a financial product for which they were authorized, approved, or appointed. A key individual of a Category 1 FSP approved prior to 1 April 2018 is deemed to have completed Class of Business Training in respect of financial product for which the key individual was approved to manage or oversee, or in the case of a Category 1 FSP, in respect for which the key individual was approved, was authorized during any period prior the commencement of this notice. Such key individuals must, within 6 months after the commencement of the 2017 determination, inform the registrar of the classes of businesses it currently manages and oversees in respect of all FSPs for which it is approved, and submit the information in the manner and format prescribed by the registrar. A representative working under supervision of 1 April 2018 must complete Class of Business Training prior to 1 August 2019 to comply with the Class of Business Training requirements for the financial products in respect of which they are working under supervision. A person authorized, approved, or appointed after the commencement of this notice, but prior to the date on which the provision on Class of Business Training comes into effect, has 12 months from the effective date of the provision to comply with the Class of Business Training. In terms of FAIS Notice 52 of 2018, a representative who has a date of first appointment of 1 August 2018 or thereafter or a specific representative as defined therein, who is appointed for a Tier 1 product for the first time on or after 1 August 2018, has until 31 January 2019 to comply with class of business training requirements. Product-specific training is the second of the two new competency requirements introduced by the amended fit and proper requirement. What is product-specific training? It addresses the specific characteristics that differ from the general characteristics of products. Training about a particular financial product includes any amendments and changes to that particular financial product, and this training needs to include an assessment. Requirement commenced on the 1st of May 2018. Product-specific training applies to all FSPs, key individuals and representatives. It do not apply to Category 2, 2A and 3 FSPs and its representatives, as well as key individuals of all categories of FSPs, provided they comply with Section 12 of the Board Notice. An FSP or representative, excluding a representative working under supervision, authorized or appointed prior to the commencement of the 2017 determination, is deemed to have completed the product-specific training for which they were authorized or appointed. A representative working under supervision at commencement of the 2017 determination has 3 months from 1 May 2018 to comply with the product-specific training requirements. A person authorized or appointed after the commencement of the 2017 determination, but prior to 1 May 2018, also has 3 months from this date to comply with the product-specific training requirements. New representatives must complete product-specific training before they can be added as a representative. Regarding record keeping and reporting, an FSP must update competency registers within 15 days after the training has occurred. They must also retain all information and documentation relating to the training for a period of not less than 5 years. And on request by product suppliers, key individuals and representatives must provide confirmation of class of business training and product-specific training. Our 7th topic is CPD requirements. The general requirements are that an FSP is required to maintain and update the knowledge and skills that are appropriate for the activities of its key individuals and representatives by complying with the minimum CPD requirements. CPD activities means an activity that is accredited by a professional body, allocated an hourly value by that professional body, and is verifiable and excludes an activity performed towards a qualification and product-specific training. The objective of the CPDs are to maintain the competency required to render financial services, contribute to skills, knowledge, expertise, professional and ethical standards of the FSP, key individuals and representatives, identify any needs or gaps in the technical, generic, and legal knowledge of the FSP, key individual and representatives, and address any changes both in internal and external conditions in the marketplace and their conducts. CPD requirements are not applicable to a Category 1 FSP, key individual and representative who are authorized, approved, or appointed only to render financial services or manage or oversee financial services in respect of the following financial products: long-term insurance subcategory A and friendly society benefits. The CPD requirements are also not applicable to representatives of a Category 1 FSP that is appointed to render financial services in respect of Tier 2 financial products, or representatives appointed to render intermediary services in respect of Tier 1 financial products. An FSP, key individual, and representative must comply with the following minimum CPD hours: 6 hours for a single subclass of business within a single class of business. Example, short-term insurance will be a class of business and commercial lines engineering would be a subclass. 12 hours for more than one subclass of business within a single class of business. Example, short-term and all subclasses for commercial lines. engineering, motor, liability, and property. 18 hours for more than one class of business, example, short-term personal and commercial lines. The determination allows for proportional hours. For instance, where being appointed for the first time within a reporting period, and where periods of absence from work due to maternity leave or extended family leave or summer. Each CPD cycle will run for a period of 12 months, from 1 June every year to 31 May the following year. An FSP must record in the Competence Register within 30 days after the expiry of a CPD cycle. This concludes our fourth webinar regarding the amended fit and proper requirements.